This video will show how to create learning plans in OASIS. When you first log into OASIS, your screen should look something like this. If you click on the Students button, you'll be able to see your student list. Choose the current year, 2018-19, and that should show your current lists. As a note, if a student has withdrawn and you need to do a learning plan for that student, under Student Lists, choose All Students, and that will show students that are no longer on your course list. But for now, we'll just look at current students. To get to the learning plans, you need to click the red radio button under the WPR or Work Progress Report tab. The Work Progress Report is basically the attendance report. So once attendance has been processed, there should be a Work Progress Report for the student. If you click on that button, that will take you to this screen. Notice there is not a learning plan created for this student yet. That's why there's an X here and not a button. To create a learning plan, I am going to click on the WPR button. And then under Learning Plan, I'm going to create a blank learning plan. Later in the video, I'll show you how to create a learning plan, duplicate learning plan, once you've already have a learning plan created. This brings me to the learning plan screen. The first thing you need to do is edit the entire learning plan and then choose the learning period, in this case LPA. From here you can either edit the learning plan in this view, or if you save it, you can click on each course title and edit the courses one at a time. For each course, you will enter the key skills and concepts covered, the material used, the assignments, the course assessments, and the expected student learner outcomes. The expected student learner outcomes, or ESLERs, actually those are called school-wide learner outcomes now, or SLOs, but we haven't changed it yet in OASIS. These are not required necessarily for every class every time. However, these are the key ideas and things that we want all of our students to be working on all the time. So you should sometimes incorporate some ESLERs. So for this student, for American Literature, I can choose the ones that are appropriate and that he's worked on this learning period. For example, read skillfully and engage with text, write confidently and well, and whatever else is appropriate to what he's been working on. Then I close that box. To enter the key skills and concepts for English and math, you're going to click on the Core Standards button, which will pull up the Common Core Standards. This is English Language Arts for an 11th grader, so I will click on English Language Arts 612, 11th and 12th grade, and then from here I'm going to choose the standards that he has been working on this learning period. So I'll choose some of these, and as I click the button, it automatically puts it into the learning plan. Once I've chosen the standards, I'll close this box. There's a little red X up there to close the box. Under materials used, I'm going to type what materials he's using for his coursework. In this case, this student is using Excellence in Literature, Volume 4. The assignments, Volume 3. The assignments that he's completed this learning period are the exercises in Module 3.2 in the Excellence in Literature curriculum. Here I would also list any books that he's read under the materials. So he's read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. Under the assignments, he needed to read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle and complete analysis essays as instructed in the Excellence in Literature syllabus. And then he also rewrote in a modern setting. As you write the assignment, please write it as an assignment to the student. So you don't write student completed module 3.2. You write complete module 3.2. And also be sure to include verbs. If you just put module 3.2, it's not clear what the student did. So in the assignment section, it should be clear what materials the student is using for his course, what assignments he actually completed, and it doesn't need to be every single tiny thing the student did, but the key assignments should be listed here. And then how his work was assessed. In this case, it was evaluation of the student's essay. And then I can save this and continue, or save and quit, which takes me back out to the main learning plan. Now, as I said, the other way to do this, if you edit the entire learning plan, the whole thing comes up, so I can finish this course, and then I can go down to his AP statistics. In this case, he's using the UC Scout online AP statistics course. And the assignment is to complete units 1 and 2 in online course. Again, I'm going to click the core standards because this is mathematics. And there are a couple different ways to access the core standards. You can do it if a student is doing integrated math 1, 2, 3, you would choose the integrated pathways. If they're doing algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, that would be the traditional pathways. In this case, because it's statistics, which is not either a course in either of these sequences, because it's beyond that, I'm going to go to conceptual categories and choose targets from the statistics and probability. So enter the targets he's been working on, close this box, and then the assessment in this case is online quizzes and tests. Again, I can add some school-wide learner outcomes. And it takes a while sometimes to get familiar with these and know which ones are appropriate in which cases, but those are some good ones for an AP statistics course. And then I would go on and complete the same thing for all of the courses and then save it. Once the learning plan is complete, I can print the learning plan. And then I would actually send this to a printer. And then I would, after printing it, I'll attach the work samples and turn it in to the main office. If you are a program teacher, when you click on the course title, you should have a list up here of pre-filled learning plan summaries. So if this were a program student, I could click on LP1 South County. This was a program student in South County. I could click on this tab here, which would give me the learning plan summary for American literature for South County. Then I could add that. If I click this button, it will add it into the learning plan. If you have any questions, feel free to call, email, or set up an appointment with me to go over the learning plans. Going back to the main page, once you have a learning plan created, so for next learning period for LPB, let's pull up this student because I have a learning plan in here. Or if you get interrupted and need to go back and edit it, once the learning plan is created, you can just click on this button and that will take you back to the learning plan so you can continue editing. Please make sure it shows the learning period up here, and if not, you choose that up here from this drop-down menu. going back to my student list, for the next learning period for LPB, when I want to create another learning plan, I'll need to add report. This is the WPR. So I can add the second attendance period. If attendance is already turned in, this will already be created. Then from the learning plan screen, I have the option to create a blank learning plan. That's what you will do if you're a program EF, or you can duplicate the previous learning plan. If you're a homeschool EF, the best choice is usually to duplicate the previous learning plan, and then you'll have all the materials and your assignments from last learning period already pre-populated in the learning plan, and then you can just make the changes for things that have changed this learning period. Then you click Save, and you can access the learning plan here, or back from your original student list. If you click on the WPRs button, now you'll see this student has 2 learning plans. This is the learning plan for LPB, and this one would be the learning plan. I'm sorry, this is the learning plan from LPA, and this one would be the learning plan for LPB. But we'll talk more about that as we get closer to that point. For now, we're just working on our LPA learning plans. And as I said, feel free to contact me if you have any questions.